You hear that? Is like something like collective dreams, really.
That's true.
I made large works, and I was thinking a lot about subverting time and space. So, for example,
Rather than acknowledge the seriousness of our situation, we instead continue to participate in the fantasy of net zero.
In a special 3-part series,
some memory became part of your experience, and also transformation of scale became part of the experience. For example,
they instantly resort to pattern recognition.
That thinking it pays off in so many other areas.
The debate is no longer whether.
But individually, at least for each of us listening or talking right now, there's the potential for change. There's a potential for becoming. There's a potential to wake up.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said he'd never seen a scientific report like it.
Today's IPCC report is an atlas of human suffering and a damning indictment of failed climate leadership.
Layers upon layers of more and more convoluted.
The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
So we need a degree of cooperation at the international level unprecedented in the history of our species. This is a crisis of unprecedented proportions. We'll be right back.
Something is coming.
You can't really stop it.
Now,
That's what made it so dangerous.
How did we get here?
With a spirit of more curiosity for the adventure ahead.
memory became part of your experience, and also.
That's brilliant.
Whatever floats your boat.
As rapid intensification. This is the hardest aspect of a storm to forecast.
you hearing these crazy rumors about weird experiments?
We're seeing them burn hotter and faster.
And that's how we discovered.
I'm interested in
What's that about?
I think we cannot afford to take this planet of ours for granted. And I don't know why every other person who claims to be a conservative doesn't have the same position.
Has a unique understanding of how notions of feedback and non-linearity.
It's an experiment.
But how?
Holy moly!
Nobody knows how this is going to turn out.
Now they gotta live with it.
That is insane.
You can really see it. For the average consumer. 4 seconds, 0 to 60.
What do we do?
Does it bother you at all, the automatic way that people accept the fact that this must be...
Let's do it again, What the hell are you doing?
And I think if you keep testing, you might find something very interesting about this planet.
The stability is great.
I think our social contract is broken, and that is at the heart of why our politics is so divided, and so many citizens around the world are disappointed and frustrated.
That's a really good argument.
We've never seen anything like this. This is completely and totally out of the norm of anything we've ever seen.
Around the planet. And since when is the world ever what it's supposed to be?
Sustainability is a collective problem that needs collective solutions.
Interesting. Well, in addition to their content, I found their tone to be striking. They're both so passionate and bold in their view that the social contract is broken. And Andrew Sheng takes the notion of the social contract even further to include our contract with the planet.
It sounds nicer my way.
Right.
Undone nature, and the consequences are going to be with us forever.
I know.
So your life becomes the life of the guy dealing with the flood.
Quite simply, they just want to change the world, that's all.
You don't understand.
I think people are just really a little bit alarmed by what they've seen.
The globe's hot springs. They
give them their colors. They're called archaeobacteria.
But you have to start. Big things start with small steps.
Amazed and shocked when they see it.
That we don't yet have a too little too late scenario.
I never thought of that. You're absolutely right.
There is no such thing as a perfect wave in the ocean. In nature, a wave is this kind of complex violent event.
Surrender to the present moment. What's coming now is all that's left.
There has to be an answer someplace.
There is, but you won't find it in jail.
Actually, it is the beginning of Zen.
I think it'll be very, very exciting.
Anxiety can be very intense, very extreme even, but that doesn't mean that it's an anxiety disorder. Anxiety is an emotion that doesn't need fixing. It's not broken.
You have a serious problem.
Designed around
creating a classic positive feedback loop.
Be clear and understand what the threats are before they become crises.
has to grow exponentially.
Oh man, this is bad.
This system has to change.
I have to figure out what are the principles of that world and what that world needs.
And could they warm our planet even further? Arctic sinkholes, right now, on Nova.
As your attorney, I must remind you.
Nothing lasts forever, and it doesn't necessarily change smoothly.
we didn't appreciate methane.
You can see why this book is basically, and I'm kind of surprised, frankly. I mean, I guess it does say something about the kind of the national steerings going on, but still. I mean, he says that it's the elites against the people here.
Notably about intergenerational fairness. This issue of how we are treating our society is one that needs to be considered in terms of its long-term economic and social societal costs and benefits.
Memory became part of your experience.
Our old model was premised on those kind of assumptions, which are no longer relevant to our societies.
You can't make a threat go away by wishing it away or ignoring it.
What are we gonna do?
I just asked a simple question.
Feeling like I should have seen all this coming.
I should have seen this coming.
The interesting thing, though, is...
Then the spirit of the depths came to me.
Has begun.
I think that's a very brilliant insight.
I know. Fascinating lecture to follow in so few years.
What's happened to this place?
Things are fine so far.
Well, I'm sorry if this one got a little depressing by the end, but what can I say? That's kind of just the reality of the moment.
They made their choice.
Whoa.
Could you be more
Look at all those bubbles.
specific?
The methane bath.
This week, a new report saying that there's a 50-50 chance that by 2026 we hit the 1.5 degrees of warming across the world. That was a bold commitment in Paris just 7 years ago.
In retrospect, I regret it deeply.
The highly classified program is codenamed
The highest truth is one and the same with the absurd.
It's all numbers, really.
We don't have much time left.
And now, in 4 years, we're facing essentially passing the target that was set there.
We've got ourselves yet another of those pesky feedback loops that seem to be such a commonplace and prominent feature of our warming climate. But the process of degradation results in CO2 anyway, so whichever way you look at it, it's not ideal.
Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job.
The more the world develops, the greater its thirst for energy.
Where are we going? That's really important.
We know that the end of cheap oil is imminent, but we refuse to believe it.
Why should you?
Young believed to be compensatory symbols of wholeness.
So, 50% of all the fossil fuels ever consumed since the beginning of time have been consumed in just the past 30 years, in the lifetimes of most of us, which is absolutely an astonishing recognition once it sinks in. But it's not the only thing.
Massive social friction within countries and across countries, but I don't want to depress everyone.
And we are hurtling towards our destruction and no one is willing to do anything about it. I can see that. You can see.
But as long as we remain in denial, unwilling to face the seriousness of this situation, and hoping that technology or some other magical thinking is going to pull us out of the corner we're in, I think we're going to continue to be put in worse straits.
Memory.
If the permafrost melts, the methane released would cause the greenhouse effect to race out of control with consequences no one can predict.
Wingless flight.
But most people don't actually know that.
What I want to do today for the rest of the time I have left.
We didn't listen. What are we gonna do?
Wake up and smell the ashes.
Hello there.
Rise and shine. Rise and shine.
There's things you can say and there's things that we just can't say.
So wake up.
Right now.
What did he say?
Well, let's just say your hour has come.
2, 1, out you go!